I'm still, after all the fights you've had, in awe of the fact that you do what you do. It's mind-blowing to me.
Thank you, man. Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard to get your beat, but it was a great experience. Like, I learned a lot in there. I can't really...
It was first announced, you had said something to the effect of this would end Jake Paul's career. After what you saw tonight, do you think that Jake should continue to box, or what do you think the future holds for him?
Yeah, no, I really take my hat off to. I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavy.
Jake Paul has reportedly announced his retirement from boxing following his devastating 6th-round knockout loss to former heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua in Miami. The fight left Paul with a double jaw fracture that required surgery. At just 28 years old, Paul entered the bout as a crossover star hoping to legitimize himself in professional boxing. Instead, Joshua's crushing right hand ended the contest and raised serious doubts about whether Paul should continue in the sport at all. Heavyweight competition.
I won 2 rounds.
For sure.
And then he won 2, and then I got dropped. But, yeah, I was doing good. I just think my cardio, just the mental pressure of the big guy and sparring the big people is different than the 10-ounce gloves. So I was feeling his power a lot more. But it was a great experience. Like, I learned a lot in there. I can't really...
Are you in pain?
Yeah, but
Does it hurt?
It's not from, like, talking.
Talk to me about what your jaw feels like, because you got
It's like a baseball in there.
two
then-
plates?
It just feels like
4 titanium plates?
4 titanium plates. How many do you have?
Just 1.
8 screws. 8 screws.
Wait, all right, I got plate in my head.
According to reports, Jake Paul has privately admitted that he is tired of taking severe punishment in the ring and is seriously considering stepping away from boxing. During the fight with Joshua, Paul was knocked down multiple times and ultimately suffered a double broken jaw that required surgical repair. The brutal nature of the loss intensified speculation about his future, especially after absorbing sustained damage from one of the most accomplished heavyweight fighters of this generation. Of this era.
Boxing. I'm getting hit in the fucking face every single day while I could be playing soccer in Saudi. I'm friends with the Saudis / football.
Back in the day?
I was on the A team in 7th grade. I have a really good kick. I can run fast, and I'll knock out everyone that with us. Please give me $1 billion.
Promoter Eddie Hearn did not back away from his earlier prediction that this fight could end Jake Paul's boxing career. Speaking after the bout, Hearn said the outcome sadly proved his concerns were valid. He explained that injuries like a broken jaw are not just physically painful, but mentally and emotionally difficult to recover from, especially for a fighter still developing at a high level. Time away from sparring, fear of injury, and loss of rhythm can permanently alter a boxer's trajectory. While Hearn acknowledged Paul's toughness and willingness to compete, he stressed that boxing is ruthless, and moments like this force fighters to ask whether the risk is truly worth it.
Because when this fight was first announced, you had said something to the effect of this would end Jake Paul's career. After what you saw tonight, do you think that Jake should continue to box, or what do you think the future holds for him?
Yeah, no, I really take my hat off to. I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights. And I know he went down heavy, but you know he was conscious on the floor. And I thought his game plan, although obviously very negative early on, which it had to be, was smart at times. And there were times where he held his feet and let his hands go. You know, it was a very one-sided fight. It was always going to be a one-sided fight. But you can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticise people. They're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot. Took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually.
UFC commentator and podcaster Joe Rogan also delivered a serious warning after Paul's knockout loss. Rogan urged Jake to think carefully about the long-term consequences of continuing his boxing career. He emphasized that absorbing heavy shots from an elite heavyweight like Joshua carries risks far beyond a broken jaw. According to Rogan, there is a price fighters pay later in life: neurological damage, memory loss, emotional instability that no amount of money can justify. He described the knockout punch as carrying the force of multiple strikes at once, highlighting how quickly damage can accumulate at this level.
That guy did great for someone who's been boxing for like less than a decade. he has had no real professional opponents other than Tommy Fury that were legitimate world-class boxers.
I don't even remember what happened in the Tommy
He
Fury
lost
fight.
a close decision, but it was a good fight. It was a good fight, though. He's a good boxer. If he wasn't a YouTuber, people would be way more impressed with him.
Yeah.
The problem is he was like a famous kid, and then no one took him seriously.
Yeah.
But
Oh, and then he started too with like more spectacle-ish fights. People were like, "Oh, this is you." He fought, Nate Robinson, like a basketball player.
But the thing is, he knocked Nate Robinson
knocked him the
dead.
fuck out,
And
yeah.
it's the way he did it that I was trying to tell people. I'm like, no.
Adding to the controversy, Jake Paul has allegedly suggested he might go on a steroid cycle to silence long-standing accusations that he has previously used performance-enhancing drugs. According to online chatter and second-hand reports, Paul implied that showing a visible transformation would prove his past physique was achieved naturally. Critics have called the claim reckless and inflammatory, while supporters argue he is responding to years of speculation. Given boxing's strict anti-doping rules and severe penalties, many observers remain skeptical until Paul addresses the issue directly on record.
Snort that I'm a cokehead. My rebuttal to that was, I'll tell you what, you can test me randomly for the next 5 years for if I can test you randomly for performance enhancing the next 2 years, and I never got a response on that.
This is why Jake Paul is on PEDs. Within this past year, Jake Paul has literally hit a second puberty and aged like 10 years. Furthermore, he has acne and his hairline is receding like crazy. And people like Jake Paul are going to the best skin doctors in the world and probably are taking hair loss products that aren't even approved for the rest of us. Now, I'm not saying that Jake Paul necessarily took a steroid to make him look bigger, but he's definitely taking something that allows him to recover faster. That way he's able to train more.
Despite the loss, UFC legend Anderson Silva publicly defended Jake Paul, saying he deserves respect for stepping into the ring with a fighter of Anthony Joshua's caliber. Silva emphasized that Paul has proven he is willing to take real risks instead of protecting his record. According to Silva, critics can no longer claim Jake avoids elite competition after facing a former heavyweight world champion, regardless of the outcome.
Respect him. I don't say that only because I'm fight here in a company, but it's because Jake, the people need to respect Jake, I mean, every single fight, go inside the ring, everybody...
Anthony Joshua brutally broke Jake Paul's jaw during their heavyweight clash in Miami when a powerful right hand landed in the 6th round, forcing a knockdown and eventual knockout. The punch fractured Paul's jaw in 2 places, an injury that was immediately visible and later confirmed by Paul himself. After the fight, he was rushed to the hospital, where surgeons repaired the damage using 2 titanium plates and removed several teeth. Paul later shared that the surgery was successful and that he would be limited to a liquid diet during recovery.
Give a monkeys about what anyone says, because they sit at home, they're full of negativity. It's like the people that are negative towards someone like Jake Paul. Look at what he's done with his life. Do you know what I mean? So yes, it took AJ a couple of rounds to get hold of him, and then he knocked him spark out and broke his jaw. It was a frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe, because Jake was moving so much, holding, but did well, I thought. I mean, I was impressed with him. I mean, I was more impressed with his toughness, because I think that last shot would have knocked out most heavyweights. I mean, you've got to respect him, because he did what many people wouldn't do, which was get in the ring with him. And, he didn't, I know he run and hold, but he also let his hands go at times. And he was in the firing line, and, we got 6 good rounds in the end of actual work.
You see it in the end?
Yeah, I actually think it's a positive, because, we could have gone in there and got it all over with 45 seconds. He's done an 8-week camp, and now he's done 6 rounds. He's got something to go back and work on with the team.
The violent 6th round knockout also ended online speculation that the fight was scripted or staged. Promoter Eddie Hearn strongly denied those claims, stating that the bout was a fully sanctioned professional contest governed by boxing commissions and legal betting markets, making any scripted outcome impossible. Hearn pointed to Paul's double jaw fracture and required surgery as clear proof that the fight was real, saying bluntly that injuries like that cannot be faked.